Hey guys, I want to do a quick blog post on something that's coming up for me. I'm a member of the CERT team, which is the Community Emergency Response Team here in the county that I reside. And we got a call for volunteers this week for a search and recovery, not a search and rescue. Unfortunately, this is a search and recovery. So what I wanted to go through just real quick is kind of a guide for just kind of a day hike, because that's essentially what this is going to be doing, at least in part. And then kind of show you some other gear that I have that I'll be taking with me, since this is a recovery effort. Things are going to be a little bit different than what a normal hike might be. Okay, so I'm not completely 100% sure on everything just yet. I'm going to pack it up and kind of see and sit on it and think about what might be the best thing to take. So I'll figure it out. But right now what I've got is long sleeve shirt, self-wicking since it's hot. I was checking the weather. It's going to be pretty warm tomorrow. Hiking shoes, nice pants, because we're going to be going through quite a bit of dense brush. You want to make sure that you're covered at all times. So it's a long sleeve wicking shirt. I'll be also bringing gloves for moving things around. You know, we won't be on a trail. We're going to be off trail, which is a little bit different set of hiking than just following through the woods. Here in the piney woods, it can get pretty thick and pretty gnarly pretty quickly. One other thing that's I'll be wearing, as well as other CERT members, is our vest, which is nice because it's high visibility. But I'll also be carrying my hydration pack, which is also high visibility. So all these materials I'm going to be packing in here, along with some water. First aid kit, always have one of these. I've added to what was in here. There's a few little survival items. One I've pulled out, which is a whistle. I'll talk about that in a second. Some stuff I've added, for example, the 3M like vet wrap, I've added in here because that can be used for tourniquets and for wrapping bandages or whatnot to stay on. I also like to carry just wet wipes for antibacterial, for just kind of basic scrapes, whatever. I can just kind of wipe that down. And just nice to kind of keep your hands clean sometimes. A whistle. So this came out of the little pack. Whistles are important to bring, whether you're hiking alone or with a group, because if you become separated and injured or just lost, if you're trying to call out a lot, you could lose your voice, and your voice may not carry as far. When you have a whistle, even just the cheap little metal whistles are perfectly fine, because it's high pitch, it's loud, and you're not going to lose your voice. All you have to do is blow it, and you can attract attention to yourself. So that'll be hooked on somewhere as well. I'll have my ID, of course, to identify who I am. Otherwise, I won't be able to get in. My field guide operations, which I'll be going over tonight, and I'll probably take with me if necessary, so that I can review that maybe in the morning. I'll also be bringing a little notepad. I've got to grab my little pencil. There could be notes on where to look, what to look for, things of that nature. So I'm going to bring that as well. A few other small items, of course. I'll have a it's a little razor blade, essentially, that you can just kind of connect on to the front. I'll be bringing a multi-tool for just in case, whatever I might need. I'm going to bring a compass, which might be beneficial, it might not. It's always good to have a compass. I can easily just hang it on to the front of my hydration pack. But I'll also have my phone if I need, for whatever reason, GPS. I don't suspect I'll need any of that, because we're going to be doing probably grid lines, so we'll all be in a line within a group of large people. And because I am bringing a phone, I'm bringing an extra battery pack. These power banks are pretty well made, and they are getting better day by day, it seems like. This is one of the older models of the Cindy, but it can charge my phone a couple of times. I take this camera with me frequently. And I also am bringing my ham radio, which I don't have a license for yet, but that doesn't mean I can't monitor it. And then I also have just a normal standard walkie-talkie that probably most people will have. So this might be more handy than this one in this case. We may not even need these, I have no idea. So I'll kind of play it by ear in the morning and decide whether I'm going to bring these or not. Again, they can just easily attach onto my hydration pack. That's about it. I'm still debating on whether I'm going to bring my headlamp. I suspect I won't need it. I might just kind of throw it in my truck. And if they mention, hey, you know, if you got a lamp, make sure you bring it or something. But other than that, probably won't need it since this is a recovery effort. We're going to be working during the day. We won't be into the nighttime hours, I don't believe. So this is a little bit different than what we've talked about. In CERT training, we have talked about search and recovery and search and rescue. And with rescue, you just kind of, I've already got my CERT bag packed up. You just grab that and go with helmets and all that stuff. But in something that is more planned from a set time period, I don't have to carry as much. I can take a few things out and kind of make a much smaller pack and make it much easier on myself. So a little bit different planning here. So I'll check back in. I'm going to try to, as much as I can, kind of keep up with what's going on and kind of record the process. I won't be discussing any personal items of the victim or anything of that nature. Mainly just the process of how this works. So hopefully some of you will maybe get the bug and go get certified so that you too can help out with your local search and rescue or in whatever volunteer opportunities you can find. All right, so I'll try to keep you guys updated. If I can't get any video or anything tomorrow, I'll try to do an update afterwards just to kind of let you know what worked, what didn't work, and what I should have brought. I already know one item I might bring would be a machete, a small one, but again, I'm not sure if that's required yet. I'm familiar with the area. I was actually there not that long ago, so it probably will require a machete, so I'm going to probably add that to the list somewhere. Anyway, okay, I'm going to sign off now. I'll see you then. We were assigned certain grids and we were given our information such as call signs and what radio signals we were on. And then we were introduced to our canine units. This unit was Echo, and he was the leader of my canine unit. The canine units are really the rock stars of this show. These animals work extremely hard, searching every nook and cranny. I was quite amazed by it. Oh, wow, it was really hot out there. We've been going at it for, oh man, about 8 hours, a little bit over. And it is hot. I got to be a flanker today, which means that I am navigation for the canine units, as well as just whatever else they need me to be. So that was interesting. I was not expecting to get paired with the canine unit and then tell them which way to go. So that was interesting. But it worked out pretty well. Thank you, Scuba, for teaching me navigation and for GPS, because that helped as well. But yeah, it's really hot out today. We actually had a dog dehydrate. We had a human heat stroke. It's been really a tough and hot day out here for our recovery efforts. Unfortunately, we've come up with nothing. So it's kind of a bummer. But even with the dogs trying to get through this area in which we're in, it's super, super thick. There's just no way to search every little bit and piece, particularly since it's been a long time for this individual to be missing. Trying to recover is going to be pretty difficult, I think. So anyway, it was a great experience for sure. I'm just exhausted. Learned a lot, and it was nice to know that a lot of the stuff that I knew already in terms of like navigation and kind of getting through forested areas and plant identification actually came in pretty handy today, working with my canine unit. So Echo, you probably saw a picture, was the dog, and Echo's handler. Were fantastic, but they definitely need a flanker out there because they're so focused on looking for hits and signs and everything that it's easy for them to get turned around. There were a couple of times that my canine unit, the handler, She wanted to go one direction, completely opposite, and I'm like, no, we're, you know, I was lined up exactly where we need to go, which, I mean, it's not her fault. Anybody that looks down, turns around in a forest, there's just, you're gonna get lost. So I definitely see the need for that. I don't know what else to say. It was an interesting experience. I'm glad that I did it. There's a lot to kind of decompress, even though, you know, nothing was found. Just the procedures of how all this worked was really interesting, and the conditions under which we're working is definitely working against us, kind of thing. But I'm glad I did it. Pretty cool. If there's anything I forget, I'll try to decompress and mention it to you guys, or maybe I'll do a write-up on the blog or something. But just for this video blog, it was really interesting. So much area to cover, and trying to do grid lines is so difficult to do out here. But yeah, that was good. Good. I'm glad I showed up. All right, guys. Well, that's another adventure down for the Bearded Hobbit. We'll see what comes next, and maybe I'll talk about my gear. Everything I brought turned out pretty well. All right. Talk to you guys later.